evening, viewers. I have something very important to share with you tonight. Something you might not have heard anywhere else. It's a story that's been kept under wraps for quite some time, and I'm bringing it to you in the most discreet way possible. I have learned through certain sources that Los Angeles is secretly preparing to host the 2028 Summer Olympic Games. While many of you may not be aware of this, the city has already been chosen for the event, scheduled to take place from July 21st to August 6, 2028. This will mark the 5th time the United States plays host to the Summer Olympics, and the 3rd time law itself takes the honor. You won't hear it in the public domain, but this city has been carefully selected alongside Paris to take on a monumental role that only a few cities in history have been entrusted with. The games will be spread out across 4 distinct locations: Long Beach, South Bay, Downtown, and Valley Sports Park. Each one of these areas will highlight different aspects of the city's diverse landscape. But what's even more significant is the extensive infrastructure upgrades happening behind the scenes. While most people remain unaware, over $88 billion is being funneled into a complete overhaul of Los Angeles' transportation network. By 2028, the city will have a fully revamped subway system, light rail, rapid bus transit, and express lanes all interconnected to ensure smooth travel across all Olympic venues. But don't expect to see the full extent of these improvements in the media just yet. Another key part of this secret plan is the Olympic and Paralympic Village, which, despite the secrecy surrounding it, will be located at UCLA's campus right at the heart of the city. It's less known, but this location will place athletes within easy reach of LA's cultural hotspots. And
so do you know where the LA Athletes Village will be? We are UCLA, University of California, Los Angeles, that in 4 years will be the home of our athletes. Also, 40 years ago, this same place was the Olympic Village of LA 84. Let's go and take a look. So this university, it is the home of many Olympic athletes and coaches that won over 300 medals and more than 100 gold medals. Here you can see the exhibition, some pins, Olympic medals, more here, and the name of the gold, silver, and bronze medalist. The City of Angels has already hosted 2 Olympics in 1932 and 1984, so there is a huge legacy and story here. Many of the sites used in Los Angeles 1984 will be reused when the city hosts the Games again in 2028, including the Memorial Coliseum, and the UCLA campus will also host the Olympic Village for the 2nd time. So if you are around LA, go and visit the LA Athletes Village, which is already here. See you in LA 48. Bye-bye.
all the sporting events will be within 40 minutes of this central village. Now, here's where it gets even more intriguing. The opening and closing ceremonies will be staged at 2 different stadiums for the very first time. The opening ceremony will begin at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, before moving to the newly constructed Los Angeles Stadium at Hollywood Park. And yes, this area is undergoing massive redevelopment right now, including new sports and entertainment districts. But most people aren't aware of how significant this all really is. The closing ceremony will follow the reverse route, connecting both stadiums in a way no one has seen before. What most people also don't realize is that Los Angeles has had a much longer preparation period than any typical host city. While the usual preparation time is around 7 years, the powers that be granted law a full 11 years, starting from a rare decision made in 2017, when Paris and Los Angeles were both awarded the Games 2024.
Please, for the love of God, tell me that I'm wrong. Did you know that in 2028, the Olympics is going to be held in Los Angeles County? But not just Los Angeles County, but it includes all of the northern regions of Los Angeles County. Places which include the Pacific Palisades, the San Fernando Valley, and Altadena. Which just so happens to be the place that is burning right now. And then I keep hearing about 2028 Smart LA, which is Governor Newsom's plan to prepare Los Angeles County and all the surrounding areas for the influx of millions upon millions of people that will be coming for the 2028 Olympics. And Newsom has emphasized for a comprehensive recovery plan, which he's calling the Marshall Plan, for, get ready for this, LA 2.0. The entire reconstruction, which would cover over 40,000 acres. I mean, this is just for informational purposes only, but it's coincidence until it's not.
But also the opportunity, I think, to rebuild at the same time. And that's why we're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0. And we're making sure everyone's included, not just the folks on the coast, people here that were ravaged by this disaster.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
For
Tell
this
us about this
region,
Marshall
we're just
Plan.
starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy for recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts, and how we can galvanize the community with folks that love this community to really develop a mindset so that at scale, we're dealing with the scope of this tragedy and responding to it at scale with efficiency like the executive order I talked about, time value of delivering projects, addressing building codes, addressing permitting issues, and moving forward to rebuilding and being more resilient.
Hi everyone. By now you've probably already heard about the LA fire. What I want to show you is some things I found this morning that you may not have heard of. First, I want to remind you that for some time, Los Angeles has been part of the C40 Cities Initiative. This is the smart city plan for the entire world. This video from this morning reminded me so much of Lahaina that I decided to do a lot of deep digging. So I wasn't at all surprised when I found this. Found this one too. Pacific Palisades was supposed to have a board meeting in February regarding some new legislation. But by far, the most disturbing thing I found was this right here, Smart LA 2028. I don't want to leave anything out. This is a video I took yesterday morning, driving down the 5 South. Take a good look at this cloud. No bioengineering, of course, although they spray constantly, every single day. It's just a very strange looking cloud. Looks like a circle.
I'm aware of what the House did, and I actually support the process or the direction that they're trying to go. TikTok does have national defense complications for us. A good example is the fact that using zip codes, they were able to basically harness about 170 million Americans and tell them, look, if you want to get on TikTok, you're going to have to make contact with your House members and tell them not to ban us. That type of approach is something that we're concerned with. But even more importantly is the amount of information that is available at their request to the Chinese Communist Party, should they need it, in terms of access to people and individual information about individuals, who they're connected with, where they live, who their family is, and so forth. That's the kind of stuff that China wants. The other thing they want is to learn how people in the West talk, how we respond, because that's part of what they want to learn when they try to influence us with the type of propaganda when it comes to elections and so forth. So yeah, it is something. It would be best if they would divest and we'd have an American ownership on that particular platform.
A central chamber filled with gold and advanced artifacts. Schufelt said that upon analysis
and 2028, respectively. This extended window will allow for everything to fall perfectly into place, even as the city remains mostly under the radar. This information that has been kept hidden for far too long. The truth behind the 2028 Summer Olympics in Los Angeles is not just about sports, it's about control, development, and power. And while the public remains blissfully unaware, I'm here to reveal what's really happening behind the scenes. Los Angeles will host the 34th Summer Olympic Games from July 21st to August 6, 2028. But this isn't just a sporting event. It's part of a larger, covert plan that has been years in the making. And here's where it gets dark. The recent wildfires that have ravaged parts of California, they're not just natural disasters. They are part of a carefully orchestrated scheme to make room for something far more sinister: faster transportation, underground tunnels, and a complete re-engineering of the city's infrastructure, all in preparation for the Games.
This city was desperate to hold the Summer Olympics, and it wasn't just about the Games, it was about the money. But to be an Olympic-worthy city, some Black residents needed to be swept out. Will it happen again? The Summer Olympics were held in Atlanta, Georgia in 1996. But for years before then, the city prepared for the world-renowned event at Black residents' expense. Between 1990 and 1996, about 30,000 people were displaced from their homes. In 1991, a host of city laws criminalized unhoused people because appearing desirable to tourists meant clearing Black unhoused people off the streets. In 1995, the Atlanta City Detention Center opened. For those who weren't of the 9,000 illegally arrested, a partnership with a nonprofit called Travelers Aid gave unhoused people one-way tickets out of Atlanta, making them sign pledges to never return. Meanwhile, to build the Olympic Stadium, neighborhoods and public housing for Black Atlantans were destroyed. More gentrification, anti-housing legislation, and high-tech criminalization produced today's Atlanta. History repeats itself. The construction of Cop City nears both the 2024 Democratic National Convention and the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The 1996 Olympics is a critical reminder that homelessness isn't about morals or luck. It's intentional, it's strategic. It's organized abandonment that criminalizes, brutalizes, and displaces Black people for financial gain. But this won't be forever. Successful resistance to Cop City shows the same spirit that led people to protest against the Olympic project lives on.
While the media continues to focus on the fires as mere accidents, the truth is that these disasters are being used to clear land that's necessary for the extensive $88 billion infrastructure project. A network of subway lines, express lanes, and underground tunnels that will connect all the Olympic venues, including Long Beach, South Bay, Downtown, and Valley Sports Park. These are no mere upgrades, they're part of a plan to reshape Los Angeles, displacing communities and erasing history in the process. But this isn't the first time something like this has happened. You see, this isn't the first time a major city has been redeveloped in the name of the Olympics. In the past, entire neighborhoods have been erased to make way for new construction. And, historically, marginalized communities, particularly Black residents, have been the ones to bear the brunt of these so-called improvements. This happened before in Los Angeles, when entire neighborhoods were wiped out to make space for the 1984 Olympics. People were displaced, homes were destroyed, and communities were torn apart, all for the sake of progress. Now, history is repeating itself. As we speak, people are being quietly pushed out of their homes in certain areas of the city to make room for these massive transportation projects and luxury developments that will benefit only the elite. The UCLA campus, where the Olympic and Paralympic Village will be located, is one such example. This area, once home to working-class families, is now being primed to serve the needs of an exclusive few. All Olympic sports parks will be within a 40-minute radius from the village, and a new sports and entertainment district will rise from the ashes, quite literally. The opening and closing ceremonies, they will take place across 2 venues, each a symbol of this new, revised Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum and the Los Angeles Stadium at Hollywood Park will host the events, and in the process, will cement the city's transformation into a sprawling, high-tech metropolis that leaves its past and its people behind. The truth about the Olympics is this: it's not just about the games. It's about creating a city that benefits the wealthy while further disenfranchising the poor. The fires? They're part of the plan. The displacement? Part of the plan. The future of Los Angeles? Not what you think. Could it be that the 2028 Olympics are just the first stage of a larger, more sinister plan to control not only the city, but the world? Some theorists speculate that the advanced transportation systems being built, the underground tunnels, and the re-engineered infrastructure are all part of a strategy to establish a new global hub, one that will control the flow of information, people, and power. So, I'll leave you with this. What if the fires, the changes to the city, and the Olympics themselves aren't about progress at all? What if they're about something much darker, something designed to benefit a powerful few while leaving the rest of us in the dark? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the 2028 Summer Olympics will mark the beginning of something far greater and perhaps far more sinister. Stay vigilant. The truth may be closer than we think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe.